Hello and welcome back to my Lorethrough series. Thank you guys so much for the support on the previous video about the tragedy of Castle Morn. Today, we will have a look at all the optional content on the Weeping Peninsula. We start by heading east from the Castle Morn Rampart site of Grace, past some gravity sorcerers, and reach Oridys Rise. We'll talk about gravity sorcery in a future video, since we don't get enough info from this site to talk about it. Let's focus on the Rise instead. Its entrance is sealed, and we are told to seek 3 wise beasts. What this means is that we are supposed to destroy 3 apparitions of turtles. The first 2 are very easy to spot, right next to the tower's entrance. The third one, however, is actually invisible, but it makes splashing noises inside this little pond close to the entrance. Once it's dispatched, the seal opens and we can collect the memory stone, which is a relic from the Eternal City that is said to be a fragment of their Black Moon. It allows us to attune an extra sorcery or incantation. Next, we go west from Castle Morn Rampart, ascending this hill to a very strange village. The inhabitants, even including the rats, seem to have gone mad, their eyes burning with a yellow flame, which conjures images of the old book, The King in Yellow. If they attack us, they can spread their madness affliction onto us as well. The incantation Flame of Frenzy that we find alongside a sacred tear inside of the church of the village tells us exactly what this affliction is called, namely Flame of Frenzy, and that it originates from the maddening 3 fingers. We don't know what these 3 fingers are, or how the affliction spread into this village, but we can assume the 3 fingers are in some way a force opposing the 2 fingers that we are currently trying to seek audience with. Moving past the village and descending this spirit spring leads us to a gathering place of demi-humans, the demi-human forest ruins. As per usual with demi-humans, once their leader, in this case their queen, is defeated, they all surrender. This demi-human queen drops us her staff and the crystal burst spell. In the chamber of the ruins we can find the shield of the guilty, and slightly north of the ruins, the Faith Not crystal tear. Moving further up north, we arrive at the Church of Pilgrimage, where we find another sacred tear and more words of Queen Marika to be relayed to us by Melina.
Spoken echoes of Queen Marika linger here as well. Shall I share them with you? In Marika's own words, then, after thy death, I will give back what I once claimed, return to the lands between, wage war, and brandish the Elden ring, grow strong in the face of death. Warriors of my lord, Lord Godfrey.
It seems that the Tarnished's return to the lands between was already part of the plan of Queen Marika when she banished our people alongside Lord Godfrey, and not just a desperate effort right now to restore the order after everything went to shit. Outside the church, we find a spirit NPC explaining what the walking mausoleum we can see in the distance is. It is a burial site for one of the soulless demigods, presumably one of the victims of the Night of the Black Knives. Once we bring it down, we can use it to duplicate boss remembrances. Too bad we don't have one yet. Perhaps we need to kill Godric? Just south of the Church of Pilgrimage, we find a minor Erdtree. This time, the minor Erdtree is guarded by an Erdtree avatar. As this guardian is, well, a tree, it is very weak to fire and goes down pretty quickly. It drops us 2 more crystal tears for our wondrous flask. Continuing southwest, we pass the Tombsword ruins where we can find the winged scythe. and reach the 4th Church of Marika, which grants us another sacred tier. Right next to the 4th Church of Marika are the Witchbane ruins, which are made as inaccessible as possible by being in a poison pool and being defended by these grotesque-looking graven witch schools and marionette soldiers. Inside is another sorceress Selen, who is apparently being tortured here.
It will do no good, I swear it. And yet you persist. You frothing degenerates.
I'm sure you're just as confused as I am about why there is more than one Selen, and maybe which one is the real one? Sadly, we can't free Selen, or ask her, so we will just have to leave her here. Lastly, we have this spirit NPC staring at a tower in the distance, saying that through this tower we can return to our home, bathed in rays of gold. Ascending it and interacting with the chest at the top actually does do exactly that. We get teleported to the royal capital, in the same way the trapped chest of the Dragonburn ruins teleported us to a Kalit tunnel. And we get a cool view of some of the city. However, we are stuck atop this platform, only being able to kill a guardian golem protecting a chest with the Blessed Dew talisman, a relic from the brief age of plenty at the dawn of the Erdtree era. Finally, let's have a look at the tunnel, caves, and catacombs of the Weeping Peninsula. The Morn Tunnel gives us a bit of insight as to why the Misbegotten rebelled in Castle Morn. They're enslaved here, as they assumedly were in the castle as well, condemned to mine for smithing stones for their masters. The boss here is a scaly Misbegotten, and he drops the rusted anchor. The Impaler's catacombs provide another puzzle to open the lever to the boss. As we walk onto this platform, it is slowly raised until we are impaled by spikes in the ceiling. Instead, get off the platform as it is raised and go below it. We collect the Please Help prattling plate and climb up the ladder on the other side of the room. There's the lever. The boss of the cave is another Erdtree burial watchdogs, only this time with 4 annoying imps as ads. Thanks, Miyazaki. It drops the demi-human ashes. The Tombsword catacombs, just like the death-touched catacombs, have been touched by death, presumably with the same death root the Black Knife assassin brought to the death-touched catacomb, since we can't find the death root itself anymore here. Use holy damage for the skeletons and collect the thank you prattling pate. The way to get to the lever this time is to get on top of this fire trap and make it ascend. The boss here is a cemetery shade, and just like the skeletons, our holy damage destroys it in seconds. Defeating it, we obtain the spirit of Lutel the Headless, a leader of the Mausoleum Soldiers. The Mausoleum Soldiers all followed Lutel's example, sacrificing their life and living in death to protect their soulless demigods, hoping for the demigods' eventual revival. This earned Lutel the hero's honor of Erdtree burial, until we stole his spirit, of course. The Tombsword Cave is a poison cave, thanks Miyazaki, with a literal giant flower, the Miranda Blossom, as a boss. It is also very weak to fire and goes down pretty quickly. And it drops the Viridian Amber Medallion, which contains a drop of the Erdtree's old sap, which became amber during the Age of Godfrey. It boosts maximum stamina. Finally, we have the Earthbore Cave, which has nothing but some rats and a rune bear as a boss, which is quite annoying. The rune bear drops the Spelldrake Talisman, which boosts magic defense, and potentially suggests there is a link between rune bears and dragons? Sounds like wild speculation, I know. But if you want to know more, Zuli has actually made a video about this, so go watch it, I'll leave it in the description. Finally, we have this evergaol that requires a stone sword key to open. Imprisoned inside is the ancient hero of Zamora, an agile warrior using frost magic. We don't learn much about him from the Radagon's scar seal he drops. We can only speculate he was likely allied to Radagon at some point. Finally, I'd like to quickly mention the 2 night bosses that can be found on the Weeping Peninsula. The first is another Hand of the Fell Omen or Knight's Cavalry, who drops the Ash of War barricade shield and his flail this time. And there's also this Deathbird that drops the sacrificial axe. The axe was used in an ancient sacrificial rite and depicts the twin bird, which is the Deathbird's god, as a malevolent deity. This information gives us a little bit more of a picture of how proper death was delivered before the Age of the Erdtree. Alright, that about covers everything important on the Weeping Peninsula. Thank you guys for watching this video. Next time we'll have a look inside the Siofra River well as our last stop before heading to Stormveil Castle. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, or comment on how I could improve these videos. Goodbye!